Welcome to this video whereby I'll be showing you quickly the practical sizing about print publishing in terms of books, the three major sizing which authors usually go with, or which major books fall into the category. First, we have the A4 size, we have the A5 size, and we have the B5 size. The B is in the B series, and A we have the A series in sizing. So you see the A4 now is actually like considered the largest in terms of the sizing, which has the dimension in inches about 11.7 by 8.3. Next, we talk about the A5 size. A5 size and the B5 size is they usually work hand in hand, but particularly if you want to talk about their comparison, you see the A5 size is much smaller compared to the B5. You know they are in different series, but when it comes to you are not satisfied, the sizing of your A5 is looking smaller, then you go for the choice of B5. The B5 is an upgrade of the A5, but the A4 overall is the largest so far. And I'm going to be showing you how these sizes look, these particular sizes, the A4, the A5, and the B5. Remember, the A5 size is the smallest so far, then the B5 is like the upgrade of the A5. So it is like the middle between A4 and A5. The B5 is at the middle. So I'm going to be showing you now. Now I want you to see these three books. I want you to see how they look in terms of sizing. You can see this is how they look. So you see that now if you check the sizing now, this yellow, this particular yellow here now, this particular yellow now is your, this is A4 sizing. This biggest, you can see how it looks in full. Then let's talk about this one. This is a textbook. So now you can see the sizing of this one. It is having some particular edges, you can see. So you can see the sizing compared. This is the B5. The yellow one is the A4 sizing in print. Some books comes in this size. And then this particular one, which is the B5. You know, I talk about this one being larger than the A5. So this is the B5 size. Usually 9.8 by 6.9 inches. This is the B size. Then we talk about the A5, which many books comes with, that is usually used for most non-fiction books. You see now, it is now another quarter of the B5. The A5 is now smaller than the A5. These are the three major sizing when it comes to print publishing that usually goes. Now, I'll be talking about the application. I'll be talking about the application of these three major sizing. You see now, what I just showed you now, mostly those A4, which is the largest, is usually used for the magazine, the brochures, or the textbooks. Some textbooks come with that high sizing when it comes to our printing. Then the A5, which is usually the smallest, is our normal standard of printing books. Your non-fiction books, your memo, those are usually the size that goes with that A5, which is the normal standard of printing by many. Then talk about the B size, which is the middle. Which is yes, the middle of the three sizing. So that B5 now, it's usually used mostly for textbook, just like this. This is your B5. It's usually much bigger. It's usually for textbooks. Yeah. And then children books as well. If you make a research, also check, you will see most of B5 goes with children books as well. It's much larger in volume. Now let me go to tell you something about when it comes to making your choices on this particular sizing. You see, number one, you have to consider the cost factor. You know, your book might fall in a particular genre where you decide that you need it to be in higher size, particular size, but you have to consider the cost. In addition, know that also your book size also increases your number of pages or the volume of your book. So this is something you have to also consider in making your choices. Then particularly, you have to also consider the fact that your book content and the structure, or let me say, imagine your book have tables, it has some charts, it has some images. It will need the amount of space it will need for it to balance or to be able to show visibly for readers to know or get the data that are in that particular table or the image. It will require a good amount of spacing. So that is where the sizing also comes into play. That's why I see that most textbooks they contain most of these things. And then using the B5 size, which is much larger in size, is much more appropriate for that particular genre. So you see that these are some of the factors that are very important when it comes to selecting. You might want to consider your costs, limit some things, but you have to also consider standard as well. I believe this particular video has been able to help you to enlighten you about choosing your preferred sizing and also seeing the practical example of how your book looks in terms of choosing your book sizing.